Welcome back to Spotlight, where we feature the University of Central Arkansas's College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. I'm Donna Lampkin-Stevens, and we continue our reunion tour after 18 months away, but I'm joined today by my friends from Reynolds Performance Hall, Amanda Horton, who's the director of Reynolds Performance Hall, and Wendy Sparks, who's the director of marketing and finance. So, gosh, it's been a long time.
It has been. We're so thrilled to be back here with you, even if we are 6 feet apart.
Yeah. I mean, we're making the accommodations,
Yes,
and
right.
Reynolds has as well. So let's
Right.
talk first a little bit. I mean, we got a great season to talk about, but what about last year? You were able to do a few things, weren't
Yes, yes. We learned a lot last year, and we had some very discouraging moments, but we also had some moments of growth and realizing that we can still present the arts safely to our community who missed it so much. And before we had a vaccination, we were doing major spatial distancing, physical distancing in the hall. So typically, where we would have 1,200 seats in our beautiful Reynolds Performance Hall, we were able to seat around 300 to 350 safely with that spatial distancing that everyone needed. But we had a ton of tours cancel on us. It
you?
felt
I
like
bet. I mean, it was out of your hands.
Right, absolutely. Once it had been announced, it felt like almost daily we were getting calls in where
So
tours were being canceled. So
How
that was
many
really
did you
hard.
originally schedule?
We scheduled around 18 last year.
And you got to do how many?
We did 4.
Okay,
Yes.
so-
Well, actually, we had 5 performances. One of our main stage education series shows came through.
Okay.
And we had none of our original shows perform last year, except for, and let me talk for a minute about that because it's definitely worthy of mentioning and speaking about. We had Kevin Spencer, who's an autism expert and also a magician, come and give our very first sensory-friendly performance at Reynolds Performance Hall. He did 3 of those performances. He actually did a week of residency here where he was able to go into some of the schools and work with children with special needs.
Good.
And then some of the schools opted for Zooms with him. So he also did workshops for local teachers. And then we, of course, had our big event, which was our sensory-friendly performances. But some of these children had never experienced live theater
bet.
because they'd never felt comfortable in a theater setting, but this was specifically for them, where all of the lights were up, the sound was not muffled, but definitely not as loud as it could be in a magic show. But it was still an amazing day, lots of great feedback from that. The Conway Chamber of Commerce assisted us with that. We're so grateful to them. We received a grant for that performance. And we had so many people after it was over share either on Facebook or emails or call us and tell us how much that meant to them and their families.
Wonderful.
So it was a good experience. However, on our regular performing arts series, all of our performances canceled, but we were able to, Wendy and I just sat down and we thought, what can we do? Who can we get to Reynolds Performance Hall? Who can we afford with a 300-person audience? And who can we get here to do a socially distanced, almost condensed, smaller show? Because if you think about touring groups that come out and they tour, often our Broadway shows brings in 50 people just with the touring group.
Right.
And that was just too many people to have at that time. So we brought in one of our fan favorites was the Midtown Men. There was 4 of them. They did an acoustic show with the 4 of them and a piano. Still spectacular. We brought in Sandy Patty, who could drive in from Nashville. She had 3 musicians with her, so it was 4 people. And those shows sold out. The 350 tickets sold out. People were very gracious and accommodating and just loved to be here to experience live music. Because if you think about it, no one was listening to live music.
Nobody.
So many theaters across the United States shut their doors in March.
Right.
And have not, some of them haven't reopened yet, but most of them are reopening now that we have the vaccine, but they were shut down for 14, 15 months. We're very proud with the fact that we were able to keep our doors open and present a little bit of music. And then also something really special that we did was we were able to serve our campus and our students, which is our core value. I mean, that's what we're here for. For instance, our choir, who has 50 members, probably a little bit more than that, had no rehearsal space, because when you sing during the time before we had vaccines and, you know, the mandates were pretty harsh, they had to have a very large space. I think they had to have 10 or 12 feet between, a lot of feet between each of the singers. So literally we spread them out through the hall and they practiced here every day.
That's
they were
great.
able to have
so
classes.
The hall was used.
Oh, yeah, every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
if
great.
it was not for the hall, the choir would not have had a place to rehearse on campus that was big enough. And then they had 2 beautiful concerts. The choir, UCA choir, concerts are free and they're absolutely amazing. So I would encourage your viewers to come out and see that as well. So yes, we were used by the music department, by various people on campus. And then also our community utilized the Chamber of Commerce, had their women's leadership awards here that they typically have at a different venue, but they needed the extra space. So having a large venue paid off during COVID.
Yep.
We were busy and we were utilized.
And you know, we learned a lot. I mean, a lot of stuff that will help us all along the way after the pandemic. I mean, we've all added new tools to our toolboxes.
Absolutely. And going forth, we're carrying some of those tools. And I think that was one of the things that we wanted to hit on was the safety precautions that we're going to continue with going forward. Of course, we are a part of the University of Central Arkansas, and right now we have a mask mandate on campus. So anyone that comes to see our performances will be required to wear a mask. But some of the other things that we started last year that we're going to continue through is ticketless options. So you purchase a ticket, but it's actually on mobile options. They're on your telephone.
Easier to keep up with
your
anyway.
Email, yes. So no paper tickets. If you absolutely have to have that paper ticket, we will print you one. Some people like to save those, but the majority of people will have them on their telephone. Also, our programs are going to be virtual. We're going to continue that. Well, you will come in with your phone and scan a QR code. Wendy's also going to put those on our Facebook page and our website in advance of the show, and they'll be left there. So after you've experienced the show, you can go back and look at our programs and our playbills. So we've made some changes that we're going to carry through, and we're excited about it. Another thing that we did last year, and our patrons really liked it, so we're going to continue, is staggered entry time. So therefore, the lobby is not congested with 1,200 people coming in at one time. So we're asking our patrons, if you sit in a certain section, please come at 6:45. Then we'll stagger another group in at 7, another group at 7:15.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things we're doing.
Good. Well, we are going to kick off with, we're back to full capacity.
We are.
Okay.
Yes.
And we start on September 30th with the Buddy Holly story.
Yes. And the thing that's special about, well, there's a couple of things that are special about this story. One is the story, but the one that I want to mention first is that this is a benefit performance for our Main Stage Education series. We talked about a Main Stage Education series earlier, but let me just touch on what that is. That is our school programming. We bring in children from really across the state of Arkansas to come in and experience live theater during daytime shows. And it's school children, it's homeschooled children. This year for our Main Stage Education series, we are kicking that off in January.
Okay.
So we're kind of giving our school districts a little breathing room and time to regroup before they start going out on field trips. But that'll start in January. We have 6 of those performances, and if you want to look at our series and you think, oh, my child's not coming to see this, but I'd love for them to see Schoolhouse Rock Live. We're going to do a night performance as well. So there'll be a school time and a public performance.
And we're talking late January, so we'll have time to talk about it in January on Spotlight.
We will, absolutely.
Okay.
So,
okay.
but back to the Buddy Holly show, we have to raise 100% of the funds for our Main Stage Education series, and we do that through donors and sponsorships and benefit shows. And this is one of those. So Buddy Holly, they will come in, and a portion of those ticket sales will go, a large portion, will go to fund the Main Stage Education series. So you're not only going to see a wonderful performance, your money's going to a really great cause.
That's great.
The Buddy Holly story kicked off in London. It's a story about American musicians, but in the 50s, but it started in the West, this show started in the West End, and then it moved into Broadway in New York and to the United States. But it is an amazing show filled with great music. You will be shocked. Buddy Holly, his career did not span very long because unfortunately he died in a tragic airplane accident with the Big Bopper.
At what age?
22?
22,
yeah. And Richie Valens, other great musicians, they all died together. And this performance kind of goes through his career and up to the night that he died. And you're going to see performances not only of his music, but also Richie Valens and the Big Bopper.
Oh,
so
that
just
sounds like a
ton
great
of
night.
fun. Yeah, great music.
That's September 30th.
Yes.
And then we have a few weeks to recover. And we go into 38 Special.
Well,
How fun.
I tell you, we're going to continue that rock and roll theme, and I'm so excited I get to talk about them. They are, of course, classic rock, Southern rock. They've been touring, running around for over 4 decades now, and now they continue to tour to huge sold-out crowds, a good 100 cities or more every year, continuing to sing all their great classics. You know, you're going to hear Hold On Loosely, Caught Up in You, all the great ones, plus a lot of new music they're doing now.
So have they continued to tour all this time?
Yes. Yes, they have continued to tour. Now their lead founder, Donnie, his brother, you know, was Ronnie of Leonard Skinner, who passed away. Donnie is not with them anymore. He had an ear problem, some type of hearing problem, and he got out of the group back in 2013.
Okay.
But they've brought in other ones, and including an Arkansas native, Bobby Capps, has been with them since like 1994. He is from Arkansas. He's a keyboardist and vocalist, so we're excited to have kind of a local tie to such a great classic band. So they're coming in on October 21st. A lot of people are moving on those tickets.
I bet.
I highly recommend, if you want to see this great band, to jump on it pretty quick.
Good, good. And then we have on November 16th, we have Cirque Mechanics, another Cirque show, Birdhouse Factory. Tell us about that, Wendy.
Yes, this is a wonderful night for family fun, all ages. It's a Cirque show. You know, we usually bring in at least one of those every year. People really enjoy them. They're full of fun, full of acrobatics. This one is set kind of in a 1935 factory type setting. So it's going to have a really neat backdrop for it. You'll see the big bicycles, the trapeze, all kind of fun wired things that they're going to do. The kids will get a great kick out of this. Have some beautiful music set to it, so it'll be a fun night. And this is coming in on November the 16th.
Now, Amanda, this is what year for you here?
This is my ninth year.
So did you inherit the Cirque shows, or is that something that you brought?
No, the Cirque shows
have been around for a long time.
In fact, this particular show
has been here before, hasn't it?
Has been here.
That's what I was thinking.
It was before I was
a long time
here.
ago.
And we originally had this show in our 20th season, and it was unfortunately one of the groups that was canceled. So we're bringing them back.
I thought I remembered seeing that. So, but it's great. I mean, and it's been 10 years.
Several of these performances we scheduled last year, and after they canceled, we wanted to honor our commitments and our contracts with those musicians and those artists, because they were hurting more, you know, probably even more than the venues were, or just as much. So we certainly felt like they were quality, great shows to bring back again.
Absolutely.
So some of them are.
So what's the attraction of a Cirque show?
You know, I think that it is what Wendy touched on earlier, it is something that all ages enjoy. If you're 2 years old, you know, the body's flipping around on the stage, and the lights and the various trapeze and equipment they use are just going to be amazing to you. And if you're 99 years old, they're going to be amazing as well. So it's a family-friendly show to bring. It's a fun show and something that will appeal to all. And there's typically no spoken word. So really, it doesn't matter if you speak English or you're a non-English speaking person, you can come and enjoy this performance.
It's full of action. People love action. If you think back of going to the circus as a kid and watching all the acrobatics, I mean, it's just wonderful. So basically that's what you're getting to see again and relive or do from the, you know, as a young one.
So is that one of the biggest productions that we're going to have as far as people? No, really?
No. So our Broadway performances, which is what we're going to touch on next, I can go into that if you want me to, are by far our largest productions, and the best production value for the theater ticket holder that you can receive, because you are coming, the top price at Reynolds Performance Hall is $40. You go see one of these Broadway shows on Broadway in New York, and you're going to pay upwards from $90 to $150 or more.
Or more.
So,
same show.
Yeah, exact same show. But they are very expensive because they are large productions that require you know, sometimes they bring with them, like I said, 30 people just loading the show in, and then we have to provide a lot of labor on our end, sometimes as many as 50 people to load our shows in. Plus they have their whole cast and whole crew, and it's just a very, very big operation to take on. But they sell the best. People in our community love them the most. So we, of course, want to honor that love and keep bringing them. And the first one we're kicking off with is An Officer and a Gentleman. Typically, this is an Oscar-winning movie from the 1980s that they've turned into a musical. Typically with musicals, you know, you have a Broadway musical that turns into a movie, but this is kind of reversed. So that's fun. But we were able to see some production pictures and meet with the directors this summer over Zoom and listen to the music. Go back and listen to the soundtrack. All of that music is incorporated into this movie, and it's some of the big hits from the 80s.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be a great night of music, and of course the story is quite intense. And it will be the same storyline. And one thing that I think is especially fun, just because I know him and he taught here at UCA, Mark Benz is the music director for the show.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
He's out of Little Rock originally, or Cabot, I believe, is where his family's from originally, but he's done a ton of work at the Arkansas Repertory Theater. My daughter took voice lessons from him for years, but he's also last year taught right here at UCA, or he assisted some of the teachers.
He's not here now?
No, he is on the road right now because he's
just traveling with the show.
He is their music director. So how fun is it to have somebody local here? It'll be a fun night for us.
And you had scheduled that before you knew this?
Yeah, yeah. He sent me a text and said, "Guess what? I've just received the job of the music director for An Officer and Gentleman. I'll see you in November."
Oh, meant to be.
Yeah,
Great.
so that's a lot of fun. We love it when we have Arkansas actors or musicians part of the show. But that's on November 30th, and tickets are also selling for that quite well. So I would encourage you, if you want to see that show, I think it'll be a sellout for us, to go ahead and get your tickets. And then December is full of fun things for us. We are leading off with Postmodern Jukebox, the grand reopening tour. The best way that I can sell this, if you're not familiar with Postmodern Jukebox, is not by my words. It is you need to go to Facebook and look them up because they're great. They basically, I'll just really quickly tell you, they take current hits and turn them into 1920s roaring jazz style songs. So you'll start to hear the song and you're going to recognize it, but it's set in a completely different format than what you're used to hearing on the radio. And we're really excited about them.
So they sing. I mean, they're up here on stage singing.
Costume, the whole thing. It's going to be great.
20s costumes?
Yep.
Oh,
a lot of times they will put some of that on.
Cool.
And they haven't released the cast to us yet. We're not sure who it is, but a lot of times it's winners from The Voice or American Idol or America's Got Talent. So really a spectacular show, a beautiful show, and a lot of fun.
That will be fun right before the holidays on December 5th. And then we have, we're going to have 2 Christmas shows, and the first one will be on December 10th, Christmas with CeCe Winans.
I tell you what, we are so blessed to have her coming. You know, she is one, if not the one, biggest gospel singer out there, and she is going to bring her Christmas show as well as perform some of her greatest hits.
Will it sort of be divided? The program will be?
Yes, yes. She will do a little bit of both.
Okay.
You know, she has won so many awards, Dove Awards and Soul Train Awards, just goes on and on through her decades of music. So that will be an excellent opportunity to enjoy such a great holiday season of music and just experience her and her beautiful voice. My goodness, she's
Now,
just
she's
incredible.
not been here, as I recall.
No.
Okay.
And
we've been working on her for years.
We have, and she is coming. She was part of our season that had to cancel last year, so we are thrilled that she is going to get back out there this season and be coming, and a lot of people looking at her tickets too. So that's another one to really look at now.
Good.
And it'd be a great show to bring, once again, the whole family to, and start a Christmas tradition. Every year, take your children to see a Christmas show. And the next one as well, on December 16th, Celtic Angels Christmas. This is also a benefit show, so once again,
For
wonderful
Main Stage.
show. Yes, and your money's going to a fabulous place to bring the theater to our children in our community. But Celtic Angels Christmas, features some vocalists. They're all, of course, from Ireland. Features vocalists that there's 3 women, and then also these amazing male dancers. So, and some of the male dancers in the past, we've not seen this cast list yet as well, but in the past have been some of the winners from the United States in Celtic dancing. So sometimes they are from the United States, but they are just phenomenal to watch, and they can move their feet so fast. Just really a cool, neat type of show to experience. And you're not only going to get the dancing and the singing, but you're also going to get all of the Irish instruments. So that type
now,
of
have they
music.
been here before?
They have.
I was going to say, I can't remember. It's all a blur from the pandemic, but I can't remember if this was the announcement of the Christmas show, or if they'd been here before.
They have been here before. It's probably been 4 or 5 years ago.
Well, actually, they were here not the season before with their spring or the Christmas show, now that I think about it. And what's neat, too, when she's talking about the dancers, one of the dancers when it was here a couple of years ago, he actually was from the United States, from New York. He was a New York firefighter.
Oh, really?
Traveling with them and does this dancing. People were blown away when he talked about being a firefighter.
He'd won the international dancing competition for, well, I guess, the world, not just the United States.
Amazing.
The international dance winner.
So when it says it's the Christmas, Celtic Angels Christmas, there will be holiday tunes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll definitely have holiday attire.
Okay.
They always have beautiful costumes, elaborate costumes. So yes, and I'm sure it will be a mix of Irish music and Christmas music.
Okay.
But something else fun to bring your
Yeah. And usually we just have one Christmas show, right?
know,
So this is so of the 18 that were scheduled last year, and then how many did you schedule for this year?
We had 22, including our main stage and our new series. I don't know, man, I want to touch on that. Our new series is our Storyteller series.
Yes.
Okay.
And that kicks off in the spring as well.
Okay.
And it is going to be a series that tells poignant historical, not tales, real life events that happened. One of them is about the Central High School crisis and the integration of Central High School. So it kind of hits home, you know, something that happened just right 30 miles away in Little Rock. And with those shows, they will have a 60-minute performance of either a play or a musical, and then a 30-minute expert speaker will come and lead the crowd in the discussion. So it's kind of a different format for us. We're incorporating a speaker and a play in the same performance.
So we're not doing the lecture series, or we are?
No, well, we are. It's going to be the Storyteller series, where the lecture will be at the end of a performance.
So that's going to be the evolution of the.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
And we'll talk in more detail about that.
Absolutely.
I'm curious how you planned for this season. I mean, you had the cancellations, and so how many of those were you able to reschedule this year?
We were probably able to reschedule 70% of them.
Great.
There were a few that we were not able to. So with that, we wanted to bring in some big surprises. 38 Special was one that we had not had planned in the past, but yet we were able to bring them in this year.
So how did you do that? Did you pencil them in? I'm just curious about the logistics of how you, and then you go out and try to find other options, or what?
Well, we started looking at talking with our agents and asking them about, you know, who's coming through our area, who is touring. You know, some of the musicians have taken off. And then we just started looking at routing and what we could afford, because we definitely have to work within a budget. And 38 Special is going to be in Mississippi the night before. And I actually got on their website and I said, oh, look, they're going to be in, you know, Mississippi, 3 or 4 hours away on a Thursday night. And let's get them here for us. We're on a Friday night, correct?
No, we're on the
Thursday. They were going to be there on a Friday.
Okay.
So we caught them in on a Thursday.
Perfect.
So if you can kind of catch them coming through your area, they're willing to.
And generally, y'all go to this Mid-America Arts Council, or
Arts Midwest Conference.
Arts Midwest Conference,
Yes.
and you see lots of new
we do.
shows and performers. How did that happen during the pandemic?
It was virtual. Yep, it was virtual. So this year we are not going to a virtual conference. We're going to an in-person conference.
Okay.
an IEBA conference, which is brand new for us, International Entertainment Buyers Association in Nashville.
Okay.
And then APAP in New York, which is where we go in January, and that's really where most of our business gets done. We
In
solidify
January, okay.
our
So
season.
when is the first one?
It's in October.
You're getting ready to go.
We're fixing
Yes.
to go.
Yes.
Planning for next year already. So
and then we'll be
yes.
in January in New York, working with the same agents, and
Okay.
maybe meeting some new ones and solidifying what our season will be for the next year. It all people don't understand.
I
that,
know that's
you know,
very interesting to see.
It doesn't
what goes
happen
the
in a day or
background.
two. I mean, it's a process.
And it's a puzzle because you have to deal with
Yes.
Our schedule.
dates and times and availability.
Routes,
So let's talk about tickets.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I tell you what, we kicked off our season renewals back in July, then we kicked off new season tickets in August, and we just kicked off our single sales on September the 7th, just a few weeks ago. They're moving along, like I said, on several of these shows. The best way for people to purchase their tickets, pick their seats, see what, where they want to sit, is to go online to our website, uca.edu/Reynolds. Hit the Buy Tickets button. It'll take them into our ticket area, and they can look at all those shows. Or they can call the box office, 501-450-3265, or stop by. There's someone in there Monday through Friday, 10 to 4.
Okay.
Like Amanda said, all of our tickets are $30 to $40 for the general public. We do have discounts available for alumni and UCA faculty, staff. All of our children and student tickets are $10, and then some of our main stage tickets are even $5 and $10, and a little bit different.
What a bargain. Yeah.
It really is.
So did you see good numbers coming back for tickets? I mean,
We had a lot
I
of
bet.
our renewals on our season tickets. People have been really eager to get back into the theater. They're renewing their seats. They cannot wait. We had some new season packages as well. Our single tickets, when they went on sale September 7th, generally we have sold a lot of tickets on that day. This year there was a little drop in it,
Sure.
but we really feel like a lot of people are waiting until right before the show to buy the shows they want. Now some aren't. These big name shows, people are buying them. But I think just considering, you know, as we're still moving through a pandemic, people are concerned.
cautious.
They're
Yes.
cautious. Is the show going to happen? Is there going to be social distancing? And what are we doing? We feel everything's going to be great and we're going to be fine. But I do think that is, you know, one of the reasons it's a little slower.
The proof of that too was our top sellers that day were our first two shows.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
people were really buying for Buddy Holly and
And
38
38
Special.
Special.
So I
Yeah.
felt great about that.
Yeah, I
They
did
were
too.
Ready to come back.
So what happened to the season ticket buyers last year? Did they just get refunds
They
on
did,
all that? So,
yes. And they were so gracious. And during the middle of a pandemic, we also had to switch over to a brand new ticketing agent because our current ticketing agent or our past ticketing agent went out of business, sold to another company. So we had to make that merger. and it
Pandemic
was-
related or?
No.
Oh,
I
just
don't believe
bad
so.
timing.
They
Don't
just
even
change-
know.
making a
Yeah.
change, just
Yeah.
selling
Okay.
out.
So anyway, it was kind of a crazy time for us, but we maneuvered through it, and our season pass holders have been so gracious and come back, and our donors have been wonderful. They've
Yes.
continued to give and understand how important it is to have the arts in your community. So,
And coming out of a pandemic,
yeah,
it's even more precious. So, yeah.
absolutely. You value it more when you
Yeah,
don't have
yeah,
it,
yeah.
you know, at your fingertips and it's not accessible. You
we-
realize how important it is.
We've been spoiled.
Yes.
And it took a pandemic maybe to figure out.
Well,
figure
you know,
that out.
you say that. We participate in several like business expos, back to school teacher events, things like that when school is getting ready to start. And I spoke to so many people during that time, and you wouldn't believe the number of people, the first thing that they would say, oh, I'm so glad to get this. I didn't realize how much I would miss doing things. I can't wait to get out again, and I'm going to shows this year. You know, they're ready to do stuff.
yeah.
They really are.
We're ready to serve them.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, it's going to be a great season at Reynolds. We're starting on September the 30th. And go to the website, again, www.uca.edu/Reynolds. All the information's there, ticket, schedule, all that. And promise me you'll come back in January and we'll talk more about the
Yes.
spring.
Absolutely.
And meanwhile, join us again next time for Spotlight.